Still another example to help us illustrate the difference between average speed and average velocity. Remember, we said that speed is a scalar quantity with only magnitude. Velocity has got both magnitude and direction. Now we have a question here that says that a man walks 400 meters due east in 190 seconds and 100 meters due west in 50 seconds. Calculate A, his average speed, and B, his average velocity. So this is how we are going to do this. Let's try and summarize this question using a diagram, illustrating this diagram. A man walks 400 meters due east. So as he's walking, let's say this is the spot he starts. When he is walking, he's moving due east. And the question says that he's going to move 400 meters in the east. And then when he reaches that point after 400 meters, then in 100, he does this in 190 seconds. So meaning it's 400 meters are done so in 190 seconds. That's the time it takes. And then he's going to move 100 meters due west in 50 seconds. So he moves 100 meters west. So we will move other 100 meters west in in 50 seconds. So he'll move that in 100. So he'll end up somewhere there. He started from here, he moved, and then came back and he stopped there. So this kind of illustration, this kind of question is trying to demonstrate to us the magnitude of the distance, which is 400 meters, and it's going ahead to tell us the direction in which it moved. So it is describing both the magnitude and direction. So if you are to find its average speed, remember, when we are coming to average speed, we only concerned with magnitude. It's going to be the distance covered, divide that by the time taken. But when it comes to average velocity, we are going to concern ourselves with the displacement. So let's go ahead and start working. Average speed. Total distance covered here, the guy started from here. He moved 400 meters that way, plus 100 meters. So the total distance covered is going to be 400 meters. Add that to 100 meters and divide that by the total time. When he was moving the 400 meters, he moved for 190 seconds, and also when he came back, he moved only for 50 seconds. So the total is going to be 500 meters. Divide that by the total time taken. The total time taken is definitely going to be so the time taken, the average speed is going to be 1 meters per second. Meters per second. So now let's look at the average velocity. What is his average velocity? Again, average velocity formula is. Now remember here, when it comes to average velocity, we are going to be dealing with displacement, not distance. Remember that with distance, we were dealing with just the magnitude. The guy moved 400 meters in that direction, then came back. So the total distance moved is simply 400 plus 100. We do not mind about the direction, as we just talk about the distance the guy moves. But when it comes to displacement, even by definition, displacement is the distance moved in a specified direction. So meaning that if this guy started moving from this point, and this is where he ended, the distance he moved is 500 meters, but his displacement is not 500 meters. We say that displacement is the distance moved in a specified direction. So meaning that if he started from this point and he ended here, it means that the distance he has moved in this direction is simply going to be, this is where he started from, this point, and this is where he ended. So if from here to here is 400, then from here to here is 100, it means that the remaining here is going to be 400 minus 100, we shall remain with 300. So it means that much as this guy moved from this point to that point, and the distance he covered to move from here to here, the distance covered is 500 meters. His displacement is 300, because the specific distance covered in the specified direction from the point he started to the point he ended is 300 meters. Again, let's get the difference. Distance is a scalar quantity. Velocity is a vector quantity, and with velocity we are talking about the magnitude, and direction with scalar we are only talking about the magnitude. And so that's the case with distance. Distance is just the how much you move. It's only, distance concerns itself only with the magnitude. So in this case, the distance moved to come from here to here is simply 400 plus 100, which is 500 meters. But when it comes to displacement, displacement by definition is the distance covered in a specified direction. So meaning that the displacement of this guy from this point to that point is 300, and it is in that direction. So it means that in this case, the displacement is going to be equal to, of course, 400 minus 100 remain with 300. So we shall just put it right there, that it's going to be 300 meters. And it's in what direction? It is in the eastern direction. So it's 300 meters in the eastern direction. By the time taken. Now, of course, the time taken to make that displacement to move from here to there is still going to be the same. It's 240 seconds. I mean, right here, I moved from here, it's 190 plus that time, which is 50, making it 240 seconds. So it means that our average velocity is going to be 1/4 meters per second, and it is in the eastern direction. So our average velocity is simply that, 1¼ meters per second in the eastern direction. This brings us to the end of this video. Thanks for watching. Feel free to check out other excellent videos on the channel, and don't forget to subscribe. For Kisembo Academy, this is Arnold Rangakuramia, helping you manifest excellence.